It's funny how sometimes Mezco will just drop a figure on our lap. You know, like they'll spend all this time promoting and showing figures that takes them seemingly forever to release. And then out of nowhere, they're like, hey, check out this figure we're revealing today. Oh, and by the way, it goes on sale, like tomorrow. Well, that's what happened here with the Mezco ONE 12th Collective Gotham by Gaslight Joker figure. Anyway, let's review it. Front, top, and side of the box. You might be wondering why I didn't show the other side or the back of the box in comparison to the front, and that's because, well, they're both the same. Do you guys really want to see the bottom of the box for the barcode? Am I supposed to still be doing that? Now, of course, because it's Mezco, I also got the little Mezit, the Mezco Mondays card, and the Mezco sticker with Gomez on it. I am quite curious to see which Mezit I got this time. Let's open it up. It's another little black Mezit and his boombox. And now we can do the thing that we all came here to do, and that's open this bad boy up. Literally, I can call him this bad boy, and it makes sense because he's actually a villain. Okay, let's pop him out of here first. I'll get everything set up right here in front of the camera, and then we will continue the video. See you in a second. Okay, I've realized as I've laid all this stuff out that perhaps I should choose a different color background. I mean, Joker's face is white, and the background's white. White, 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 white. That means we're gonna have some intensely challenging to take videography and photos, because his face is white, and the background's white, and they're all gonna kind of bleed together. So, let me just change the background, and then we'll continue with the video. Okay, that's definitely better. Let's go with yellow. Now, before we look at everything here, and there is a lot of stuff here to look at, I just wanted to mention how kind of peculiar it is they decided to make this Joker figure based on a character who hasn't really ever made that much of an appearance or a dent in any comics. He kind of sort of appeared in Batman's Gotham by Gaslight Elseworld story, and then made a very brief appearance alongside a bunch of other Gotham by Gaslight Earth-19 supervillains in Shazam's Convergence issue number 2. Really, that's it? Where else have we seen him? Right in front of us. I guess that's where. So this Joker figure comes with 9 extra hands, 3 playing cards, one with a bat, one with a heart, and one with a dude on a unicycle, or I don't know what that is. Is that something up his butt? And then he comes with all manner of, that is, no less than 9, rusted, tetanus-inducing instruments of pain and torture and punishment. A kitchen knife, a drill, a hook, some clampy scissors, another knife, a little hatchety thing, another knife, and a bone saw. And of course, if you're gonna be torturing the crap out of people, then you need an apron to wipe your bloody hands on. Again, going back to all those extra hands, we can see that indeed, they're very, very bloody. This is clearly a Joker who is not afraid to get his hands dirty. But he also comes with a really cool steampunk-era top hat, and then a pair of really fantastic circle steampunk-style glasses, and an interchangeable head. See, the first one, he's all, like, smiling and stuff, and we know who this is intended to look like. The man who laughs. And then he comes with this straight-faced face, where I'm not sure, I think that's the look that he gives you just before he breaks out into the smile. Both of these faces are painted really, really well. I like these a lot. Oh, and he also comes with this little briefcase that you can put all of his rusted instruments of torture into. It's got a little foam inside so that each one fits into its nice little snug place. How delightful. Oh yeah, and that green strip of fabric that all the hands, cards, and implements of torture are on, yeah, that's a scarf. He also comes with a scarf. And we've also got the Joker figure base, along with the arm. Pop. There you go. That's what it is. And the 1/12th, hey, I'm not using those parts right now, stuff baggie. And finally, now, we can look at the Joker figure up close. We'll start with his outer layer, his overcoat. In the original artwork, there's actually buttons that go all up the front. This one is devoid of such buttons. But it is kind of a nice fabric. This is really pleasant to the touch. And I think its pockets might actually be real. Oh goodness, I think it's got real pockets. Let's just open it up and see, here's the buttons. The buttons are here on the inside. And oh look, it does have real pockets. All right, let's take the jacket off of him for a second and look at his shirt, trousers, and tie. I had to take his hands off to get the jacket off nicely because those great big fists, they totally don't fit through the hole properly. Oh, look, and it's got shoulder pads. I thought it was the 1880s, not the 1980s. We'll just put this over here. What a finely dressed lad we have here. Although, for starters, I will point out that the bottom of his trousers they're incredibly dirty. I suppose that makes sense, considering a lot of roads back then weren't paved. They were just dirt roads, so maybe that's why he's so filthy. I'm curious, is he wearing socks? Nope, no socks for this Joker. Although, look at those fantastic booties. Those are really kind of cool looking. They look textured, they actually look like leather. Those are neat. You got the double button front of his pants there. You got his suspendies just sitting right where they're supposed to at the front and also around the back. Oh, his hand fell off. We'll just put his bloody, murderous hand back on the peg. And oh goodness, his suspenders. They're actually stretchy. That's fun. And he looks really dapper in his green tie. This almost has a Charlie Chaplin feel to it. I mean, minus the face. And if this was black instead of green. Yeah, you know what? I feel like this is a pretty good approximation of what we would expect to see if Joker played more of a prominent role in the Gotham by Gaslight story. What do you say we find out what the articulation is together before we do some comparative shots? Which, I mean, we know what it's going to be. The inside of the torso here is going to have a ball. And that's really, really articulate. And the waist is fairly articulate as well. So, yeah, I always tend to like the torsos of these Mezco 1/12 figures. The head is, oh, it's got a little piece of articulation right down here in the neck. And he's also got the head, which obviously is on a ball peg. So it's not that bad as far as neck and torso. That's pretty good. And what about the arms, you may ask? Well, clearly there's going to be a pretty good range of motion, and the suit, the shirt, is loose enough that you can actually still use those articulation points pretty good. Clearly he's got the single jointies, but he definitely has some rotation at the elbow, no bicep swivel, and then of course you've got this rounded hingy-do right here, front and back and all around. Now what about down here below the belt? Well, sporetum. That's roughly what you're gonna get with the pants there. But there's some nice roundy motion like that as well. You got really good double jointed knees. These are fantastic. For the feet, it's going to be what you would expect considering he's got these ankle high boots, right? The articulation has to come from inside the boot, and you don't want to ruin the visual integrity of said boot. So, you know, this is pretty much what we're looking at. It's nothing stupendous here. So now let's talk about their comparisons. The left having the deluxe reissue of the basic Joker, and then the Clown Prince of Crime, badass punk rock Joker. Obviously, that jacket is from that Joker though. I just think it looks really gnarly on the Clown Prince of Crime version. And then I thought it would be cool to compare him to some Harleys and some Batmans. But really, the comparison that I've been kind of dying to make is with this here kind of sort of bootleg knockoff-ish unlicensed version of a Gotham by Gaslight Batman. Remember? The great detective is back. As you can see, he is woefully small in comparison to anything Mezco Toys would offer. I mean, you could play a little bit with perspective like that, but honestly, if I just move Batman back, he's woefully small. Still, a very good figure. We can't base the value of this figure on whether or not he goes with any figures that are not part of this line. And as you've seen, he looks pretty good with figures of this line. Whoopsies! One more thing I forgot to mention about this figure is the fact that the hat fits nicely on his head, like really tight. I really like that a lot because it's molded to fit the top of Joker's head. So it'll just go right on his head like that, nice and tight. And that goes exactly the same for the non-laughing head sculpt. It fits perfectly, and it ain't fallen off. I think that's because the sculpting for the hair is, if not exactly the same, it is so close to being exactly the same that the hat just sticks to that hair perfectly. And another thing that I really like about this non-smiling Jack Nicholson-esque looking Joker face is the fact that the glasses fit perfectly on his head, around his ears, and That just looks really cool. So what do I think about this Joker figure based on an appearance that he never really had in the Gotham by Gaslight universe? It is the Earth-19 version of the Joker. Well, I think the old steampunk prankster looks pretty fantastic. I feel like the quality is the same as all the rest of the Mezco 1/12 collectives. The stitching looks good enough. The paint apps look fantastic. It's got enough articulation for me. It's going to be really fantastic to have a Joker to pose alongside my Gotham by Gaslight Batman. And if you paid the actual suggested retail price and you're not trying to hit up eBay and the secondary market, I think in today's action figure price climate, he is worth the money. If we expect to have figures that are going to have cloth goods clothing as well as an absolute metric butt ton of accessories, then these are the prices that we've got to pay. And all things considered, I certainly think that this one is worth that market value. Anyway, have a fantastic day, Super Friends, and take care. Bye-bye. Man, you know how hard it is to throw this up in the air and have it land right in your hands and not look? Okay, let's try again. Oh, that landed on my butt. What the frig am I doing? Like, imagine me just sitting here chucking a box up in the air and letting it bounce off my head for no reason. Out of context, this would look so weird. The box is getting ever more damaged. It's got a hole in it.